Ho, ho, hold on. What is happening? It is officially the month of December, so it means even if you're a Grinch and you don't like Christmas, you gotta like Christmas in December. I mean, look around. Christmas is everywhere. If you go to a store, you probably hear it in the songs. If you turn on any radio station, they're playing Christmas music. You know why? Because we are getting ready to celebrate the story of Christmas, the real story of Christmas, about Jesus and the hope that he brings. And we're gonna have a lot of fun along the way. Well, you know who I am, it's Sam Alama. That's right, and we are so excited that you're watching this, that you're in Kid Life, and we are gonna be doing something really cool. We're gonna be learning about this series called Simply Christmas. We're breaking it down to what Christmas really means. And when I think of Christmas, presents aren't the only thing I think of, but they're definitely something I think of. And I remember when I was about your age, I had this one thing that I wanted, a bike. I wanted a bike so bad. I wanted a Huffy bike. And my parents said, all right, for Christmas, we're gonna get you a Huffy bike. And I was so excited, I was like, awesome. And I'm looking, so like December comes and I look under the tree and I don't see a Huffy bike under there. But it's okay, you know, it's hard to wrap a bike, I understand. But then weeks go on and I'm like, where could they be hiding this Huffy bike? Where is it? And so I was looking, I looked everywhere for it, couldn't find it. So, did they really get it? Did they really buy this bike for me? And then Christmas morning came and everyone's opening presents and I open a couple presents and all of a sudden I'm like, where is the Huffy bike? Because all the presents are unwrapped. And then all of a sudden, when I had lost all hope and I'm like, they promised. My dad comes out of the garage into the house and he's got the Huffy bike. I don't know how they did it, but they hid it and it was there. And I was so excited. I was like, this is the best Christmas ever. I was so excited. Well, that's what we're gonna be learning about this week, is that we can have hope because God keeps his promises. Again, we can have hope because God, he keeps his promises. If he says he's gonna do something, he's gonna do it. And that's why we can have hope, because he keeps his promises. Now, real quick, I'm excited about this worship song. It is gonna be so much fun. I can't wait for you to learn it with us. So get up on your feet because we're worshiping in 3, 2, 1.
Joy to the world, the Lord has come. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare him room, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature. Glory to the King, he is everything. Our hearts will rejoice and sing. Glory to the King, let the praises ring. Our hearts will rejoice and sing. Joy to the world. Joy to the world, the Savior reigns. Let men their songs employ, while fields and floods, rocks, hills and plain repeat the sound and joy. Repeat the sound and joy. Repeat Keep them bells ringing. Keep them bells ringing. Yeah. Keep them bells ringing. Glory to the King. He is everything. Our hearts will rejoice and sing. Glory to the King. Let the praises ring. Our hearts will rejoice and sing. Joy to the world. He is everything. Our hearts will rejoice and sing. Glory to the King. Let the praises ring. Our hearts will rejoice and sing. Joy to the world.
Merry Christmas, Kid Life! I am so excited that today we get to talk about the hope that we have because God always keeps his promises. And one of the most amazing promises that he made was to send a Savior for us. And he kept that promise when he sent his son Jesus to live on this earth. One of the most amazing Christmas decorations, one of my favorite Christmas decorations, the most popular Christmas decoration is a Christmas tree. But I don't know that I like this one. It needs a little something, don't you think? It's kind of dark and empty. I can fix that. Wow, doesn't that look amazing? I think it looks so much better. And it reminds me of all throughout God's history. There were people called the Israelites, and they would turn their backs on God and they would be in darkness. But God always found a way to bring hope. He always found a way to bring light to the darkness. And they knew that they could trust him. And they knew that God was always going to be who he said he would be. And we see throughout history God being there for his people. In the beginning with creation, he was there. He was there when Moses and the Israelites were trying to escape from the Egyptians. God parted the Red Sea and he saved them. He was there when Joshua and the Israelites won the battle of Jericho in the Promised Land. He was there when David defeated Goliath. He was there giving Esther courage to stand up for her people. But even though God was always there for them, sometimes they still wanted to do things their own way. They would start worshiping the false gods that other nations worshiped, and they turned their back on God. So God would send people like judges to rescue them when they cried out to him for help. He would send kings like King David and King Josiah. He sent prophets to speak truth and hope to people like Elijah and Isaiah. And even though he did all of that, they still turned their back on him. They wanted to do things their own way. And when they did that, things got really, really dark, like our Christmas tree was earlier. Like really dark, and they couldn't see a way out. But in Isaiah 9:6, we read of a promise. And in the Old Testament, there are hundreds of prophecies that God would bring hope, that he would send someone that would save them, someone that would rescue them. Isaiah 9:6 says, "For to us a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government will be on his shoulders, and he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace." This was a prophecy that God was going to send someone, and that someone, you and I know, it was Jesus. God made a way to keep his promise to his people. He sent a Savior, and that Savior was Jesus. And God kept his promise. He is our wonderful counselor, our mighty God, our everlasting Father, our Prince of Peace. And we know that even in our own lives, we need God. We need him to rescue us. that we experience times where things feel really dark and it doesn't seem like there's a way out. And did you know that God keeps promises for our lives too? That He says He's always there with us. He says that He works out all things for the good of those who love Him. He makes promises to us, and what He says He will do it. And one of the most amazing promises, like we said, is that He would send someone to save us, and that someone was Jesus. Jesus is the greatest promise. We can always have hope because God always keeps His promise. God, we thank You for Your Son Jesus, for the promise that You made to us. We thank You that You always keep Your promises. God, we are broken people too, just like the people we see in the Bible that didn't always follow You. We don't always follow You. We don't always make the right choices. And so I thank You for our Savior, Jesus. And I pray that every single boy and girl listening, that they would have that hope, that they would come to know Jesus as their Savior.
Well, I hope you guys had a blast, and when this video ends, I hope you make some hot chocolate, get some fuzzy socks on, plug that Christmas tree in, and celebrate Christmas for the whole month of December, because come on, it's got to be celebrated the whole month. We had so much fun hanging out with you guys and learning what Christmas is all about and how we can have hope because God keeps His promises. Now, you guys have an amazing week, and we can't wait to see you next Sunday.